Saul then began chanting unintelligible words as the snake grew angrier. His grandmother nudged his side, reminding him to play along. Reluctantly, his feet began shuffling, as if he were dancing, as the other parishioners were doing. A loud yell from the back of the church had Greer turning to see Cash trying to fight several men in the aisle as he tried to reach Beth.
"Stop it!"
His yells were ignored. The church followers not distracted from the self-induced trance that fed their cruel eagerness to see anyone but themselves at the snake's mercy. Cash's struggles knocked off the camera the pastor had set up to record the revival.
"Make the unbeliever leave. We don't want him here,"
Saul shouted, the gibberish he had been chanting disappearing.
"Let's go."
Greer erratically danced closer to his grandmother, wanting to seize the opportunity to leave. Sadly, she nodded her head toward Beth. Turning back toward the front of the church, he saw the snake's fangs flash out, sinking its glistening teeth into the little girl's arm. He nearly tripped over his own feet. For the last 2 years, he had tried to avoid the sickening sight of the pain-filled expression that came over her childlike features.
"Now, Greer, now,"
his grandmother whispered frantically, pushing him toward Beth as she dropped to her knees. The snake handler quickly stepped forward to take the snake away, while the parishioners began dancing even more frantically now, chanting their own gibberish. He began making up words as he purposely fell to her side, covering the dots of blood on her arm. Then his mind went blank as she stared up at him, terror-stricken. Other church members touched her as they began praying. Greer ignored them, searching for the spirits that were never far from his side.
"Help me,"
he screamed in his head, wanting to shout it out loud, yet knowing it would only get him removed from her side.
"Help me heal Beth."
Gathering his thoughts, he pleaded for the spirits of his ancestors' intervention, feeling them fill his hands with their healing warmth that slipped from him into Beth. In his mind's eye, he saw them trying to drive out the poison that had been injected into her arm. As he felt the spirits work, he kept his concentration on Beth. When he felt Saul try to move him away, he shouted his gibberish louder, and Saul removed his hand, as if he had been stung with the same fiery venom that Beth had experienced. Greer hated the pastor. What kind of man would do this to his own daughter? His wife, who was just as fanatical, was dancing as if joyous while her daughter lay dying. The only one who had any sense was her sister Lily, who laid Beth's head on her lap. Her violet eyes met his, tears rolling down her cheeks as she prayed for God's help. When he started to feel dizzy, he felt Beth start to slip away from him. The venom was much stronger than his body could handle. The spirits were more than he could handle. Then he felt a frail hand touch his back.
"Help this child."
His grandmother sank down beside him, giving him the strength to straighten and drive the venom away from Beth's heart. His hand tightened on Beth's wound. Looking down moments later, he hastily moved his hand, seeing the bite marks weeping drops of cloudy liquid. Greer used the bottom of his suit jacket to discreetly wipe it away.
"Thank you,"
he managed to croak out as he fell into his granny's side. She scooted them away from the parishioners who were praying over Beth, asking Greer,
"You okay?"
He nodded, managing to lower himself onto the pew closest to them. Then Greer helped his grandmother sit beside him.
"Can we go now?"
he asked in a hoarse voice.
"Give me a minute."
They sat quietly. Greer had to keep himself from screaming at the parishioners who were under Pastor Saul's spell. Unable to believe how they could be fooled into believing the man was a prophet. He was just a kid, and he could see that the man was as crazy as the coon dog his father had to put down when it tried to bite his baby sister.
"I'm ready."
Greer shakily helped his grandmother to stand. As they walked toward the door,